COVID has unfortunately exacerbated the education gap. Students in low-income neighborhoods and particularly Black and Latino populations have had less access to internet, less access to home devices. The education achievement gap and opportunity gap already is so high, and to actually have that exacerbated is a huge problem. Our country, is supposed to be about equal opportunity, and so by having this gap get even worse is going to really kind of undermine the ideals of our country.
I think in my classes, I had a little under 50% in every synchronized class. I had probably 55% in my asynchronous classes. I had the highest attendance in the school. And that was due to me calling families before. So I was literally the alarm clock for a lot of kids. So not just my advisees, but literally texting kids, are you up? Like, are you at ELA? Like, right? So because parents are still at work, right? My student might be also taking care of their 3 younger siblings while mom's at work. So it's like, they have a lot going on that they need those reminders.
It was very low work and there wasn't as much stress, and it was pretty easy, and they assigned like simpler projects. Everyone had their screens off and they were kind of like not in the mood to participate, and everyone was kind of like lazy and like didn't want to really like speak. Well, there are some teachers that didn't even like host Zooms though, and so it was like really hard to reach them. But the teachers that like did were pretty available.
I don't think I got the same learning experience for sure, because I find it easier to go to school physically, and it's like much easier to understand, especially because I'm a visual learner. And also they kind of reduced like the amount of work, so I don't think it was the same. Like in our school, they offered like internet and also like computers if we didn't have one.
They changed the grades from normal grading scale to like pass-fail grades. And then we'd have assignments due every Friday, every week. The teachers were not super available. They'd have like a time window, like one day where you could like reach out to them on like email or like something, but it wouldn't be like super great.
Coming from Sacred Heart, I was very fortunate, as we're all teachers, of having the resources available. So students all had access to Wi-Fi, their Chromebooks, materials, constant communication with faculty members, and parent support. I pretty much had I want to even say a 98% attendance rate.
I think most of my teachers in classes were super progressive, and we would have gone the same track that we would have in school.
Some teachers especially had some difficulties adapting to Zoom or Google Meets and required some assistance with those platforms. But we didn't have any issues with the basic internet connectivity. Of course, some people cut out, as inevitably it is, but we didn't have major issues with that.
Kids who go to private schools, they really haven't missed a beat. And so maybe their learning went from a 10 to an 8, while the students in poor, historically marginalized communities, their learning has probably gone from a 6 to a 2. And so the lower starting point and the gap is only widened.
We need to act, come up with solutions, and prioritize addressing this gap